My story begins on a sweltering August night in a place that I would never set my eyes upon. The room takes place in only my imaginings. The walls are white and clean. The bed linen is crisp as a fallen leaf. Outside, the breeze is weary, and the scent of pine wafts in as the woman screams, press out as the nurses hold her fast to the bed. She's very pretty, a gentle, fragile soul. Not the type who would bring about the catastrophe that's only now, in this moment, beginning. In my multifold years of life, I have learned that people get along as well as they can. They do not intend to hurt anybody. It is merely a terrible byproduct of surviving. It is not her fault. All that comes after that one final merciless push. She produces the very last thing anybody could ever want. A silent flesh comes forth. A tiny, bare-haired little girl as pretty as a doll, yet blue and still. The woman, not knowing her child's fate, wouldn't even be able to remember because the medications or the pain would cause it to be a blur by tomorrow. A sympathetic conversation takes place outside as nurses stitch and doctors clean what is left. So sad when it happens this way. So out of the ordinary and out of the blue, when life has not one breath in this world. Sometimes you have to wonder, why? When a child is so very wanted. The next morning I receive a note in the mail reading that, "Sir, I'm so terribly sorry for your loss. Rest assured everything humanly possible was done to ease your daughter's labor and to save the baby." But I knew this wasn't the truth. And followed by that were the most heartbreaking words I've ever heard spoken. If she were to try again, the results could be her life. But might I suggest something? I know of a woman in Memphis. We all come from different homes. Whether we come from happy to not so happy to poor to wealthy homes, we can always have the dream of growing up and creating the home that we've always wanted to grow up in. But sometimes couples don't get as fortunate and they are not able to produce their own life into the world. And according to the Biotechnology Center for Education, only 4.5% of all Americans are able to adopt. But in the 1940s, there was a heartbreaking scandal of a woman by the name of Georgia Tann, who kidnapped and sold poor children to wealthy families. As we watch a young child who has been taken from her home and struggle with the loss of losing her family. And Before We Were Yours, by Lisa Windgate. Miss Tann said today's going to be a big day. Today that a wealthy family takes me in as one of their own. But this isn't what I want. I want to be at home, my home, with my mama and daddy and my little sister. I want to be on the river, where my little sister sits with a honeysuckle crown on my head, where mama's making her dinner, and I jump into daddy's arms and give him a big old hug. But then I wake up, and I realize I'm not at home. So sad. We take them in when they're unwanted and unloved. We provide them with all the attention and love that their parents cannot and will not give them. I bolt my eyes to the ground and make a fist of my hands. They don't. My mama and daddy want me. They love me. So did the man who broke down crying on the porch when they found out that his little boy named Lonnie had been adopted. Like the woman on the side of the street who begged them not to take her children, that her children were the only thing that she had left. Like my mom and daddy, who came home to see me gone, like the light and the love had been ripped out of the home. But all I could do was bolt my eyes back down to the ground and listen to Miss Tann tell them, "She's a good worker around the house too. You guys are gonna love her." whole life was being sold away. And there's nothing I could do about it. So I looked to the ground and prayed to God, please, God, take me home.